36 years old is how old Bob Marley was when he passed away from melanoma, which proves the point that anybody can get skin cancer. But what's interesting about Bob Marley's skin cancer was that it's not thought to be caused by sun exposure. In 1977, Bob Marley first consulted a doctor for a spot on his big toe, which was kind of chalked up to just being an injury from soccer. When the lesion started to worsen a short time after that, he sought a second opinion, and this doctor took a biopsy, and it was found to be melanoma, a type called acral lentiginous melanoma. Now, acral lentiginous melanoma has a worse survival rate than most melanomas. Although it occurs equally in light-skinned people and dark-skinned people, it's the most common type of skin cancer, or the most common type of melanoma in dark-skinned people. This type of melanoma occurs mostly on the palms and the soles. It can involve the fingers and the toes, and especially underneath the toenails and the fingernails. And there's a big racial disparity in the survival rates for acral lentiginous melanoma, and I guess you can probably guess at who's at the short end of the stick on those statistics. The recommendation of the doctor was to amputate the entire toe, but this went against Bob's Rastafarian beliefs that he would be desecrating the temple by amputating part of his body. So instead, he elected for an excision of the area where he had a lot of his toe, the skin on his toe removed, as well as the toenail. In 1980, Bob was in New York City, actually jogging in Central Park, of all things, when he collapsed. He was taken to the hospital and was found that the melanoma had spread to his lungs and his colon and other internal areas. He played his last gig in Pittsburgh and then canceled all remaining tour dates after that. He then flew to Germany, where he was treated by an alternative medicine practitioner with ozone treatments, vitamin injections, herbal treatments, as well as exercise programs and dietary changes, but unfortunately the cancer still progressed. He preferred to pass at his home in Jamaica, but unfortunately his flight was diverted from Germany to Jamaica to Miami, where he passed away at a hospital May 11th, 1981. Sometimes when I'm doing full skin exams on people, they seem a little put off that I want to look at their feet. I don't want to look at their stinky feet, but guess what? I want to find that acral lentiginous melanoma if it's there. So everybody out there who's listening to this, honor Bob Marley. Take a second, look at the bottoms of your feet, look around your toenails. If you have any dark spots, go see a doctor, especially the darker skinned people I'm talking to out there, because these things get discovered much later and have a worse prognosis than they do in people with my skin tone. And they can occur on your hands, but chances are you look at your hands a lot more than you look at your feet. Earlier, I mentioned that sunlight, ultraviolet light, doesn't cause acral lentiginous melanoma. What causes it? Well, the bottom line is no one really knows. I think it might be pressure, friction. Hey, your guess is as good as mine, is as good as the top researcher in the world. The last words that Bob spoke to his son Ziggy were, "Money can't buy life."